Welcome to JMW's Inside Man YouTube channel. Now, my guest is Rebecca Young. Rebecca is a partner and head of the media reputation management team here at JMW Solicitors. So, Rebecca, we've all seen the news stories about the unnamed BBC presenter recently. What's happened?
Hi, Dom. So on Saturday, The Sun broke a story where it said that there's an unnamed BBC presenter has paid a young person to send them sexually explicit images, and that's begun when the young person was about 17 years old. Since then, since the story broke on Saturday, I think it was late Friday evening, but it went to print on Saturday morning, a lot has happened. There's been developments overnight, really, in that yesterday we heard from the young person who's at the centre of these allegations. They've denied that there is any truth to these allegations. They're saying that they are rubbish, and that there is nothing unlawful or inappropriate that has happened. We haven't heard from the BBC presenter. The BBC presenter has not been identified, and we'll go on to talk to why they've not been identified. They have been suspended. We understand that the BBC has now met with the Met Police. We're told that the BBC first learned of these allegations back in May, but that the information that has been presented to them over the weekend is information that was given to them via The Sun that the parents of this young person have collated. We're told that the Met Police are making inquiries, but there's no formal investigation as such. Following the young person having made their statement last night, The Sun have gone on to publish again further articles in the newspaper, in the print copy, and both online, and they are maintaining their story. They're standing by their story, and that's of the parents of this young person. We've also heard from a number of celebrities that have distance themselves from these allegations. So there's lots that's happened online on social media. There's been lots of speculation as to who this unnamed BBC presenter is. A lot of male presenters have come out. We understand that it's a male BBC presenter. A lot of male presenters have come out to say it's not me. And so there's been a lot that's happened over a relatively short space of time, and we're just waiting to see how this now unfolds.
And you mentioned an unnamed presenter. Why can't the presenter simply be named?
So there's well-established case law, Dom, that you can't name somebody who is a suspect. So if you happen to be a suspect, if allegations of criminality are made against you, you can't be named. You have a reasonable expectation that your identity will remain out of the public domain. And that's to also protect the integrity of the investigation itself. What that means is that until the police formally bring charges, that individual cannot be named by the press. Now, the BBC finds itself in a position of where it's the employer of this BBC presenter, and also it's a broadcaster. It's used to breaking news stories, but the BBC will be well aware that it can't release this BBC presenter's name, not least because a lot of this case law that has established that where you are under an investigation but have not yet been formally charged, and your name can't be released into the public domain, that flows from the Cliff Richard case. And the Cliff Richard case is quite a famous case where Cliff Richard took the BBC to court. It was a civil claim that he brought as a result of the sensationalised media story of when the police attended his residential property. So at present, we're not going to be having the BBC or hearing from the BBC as to who this individual is. And it's really important to remember as well, Dom, that we're not even at the stage of an investigation. We're told at present, so at today's date, we're told that the Met Police are making inquiries. So it hasn't even progressed to the stage of a formal investigation.
And online, I mean, I've been horrified because people have been naming individuals. What recourse do these individuals who've been wrongly named have?
So the individuals that have been wrongly associated with the allegations, and they're serious allegations that have been made, and it's really important to say we've not heard from the BBC presenter. We don't know what the truth of the wider, factual matrix and the background to any of this is. So there could be completely false and spurious allegations that have been made. But because they are so serious, those BBC male presenters that have found their names published online, they're on social media, they're on Twitter, they're on Facebook accounts, they've chosen to come out and say, it's not me. Now, they may have claims in defamation themselves against those who are tweeting online. So it's really important that you don't tweet anything online. You don't start speculating or rumours about who the BBC presenter is, because you could find yourself on the receipt of a liable action. And that is an example of sort of the ripple effect that these allegations can have, and the reason why you cannot name somebody, because we're seeing already the ripple effects and the implications that this has for people that don't have any association with these allegations.
And more generally, Rebecca, how can you and the Media and Reputation Management team here at JMW Solicitors help individuals?
So, Dom, we can help here at the Media and the Reputation Management team if you are on the receiving end of false, very harmful social media posts, tweets, Instagram posts, which are effectively defaming you. So we can assist you in bringing a liable claim. That can include if something appears within the print, so if it appears in the press, or if it appears on social media as a platform. Because like I mentioned to you, Dom, people seem to think that social media can't result in a legal claim, but it is a platform that can then result in liable proceedings being brought. We can also assist if you were to find that you, similar to the BBC presenter, are at the centre of allegations which may be firmly denied, and we can assist in considering the options which are available to you, whether that's defamation or whether that's privacy. So the Cliff Richard case, for instance, that established that you have a right to privacy, you can't reveal the name. There's recently been another case, only a couple of weeks ago, that the BBC were the respondents to. So there was an application for an interim injunction where the BBC wanted to broadcast a programme which was looking into allegations of misconduct within a particular sector. And they were going to do a case study on this one individual who's a high-profile businessman. And the businessman that brought that application for an interim injunction, it was all held in private, the proceedings are anonymised, we don't know who this individual was. He was successful in securing that interim injunction. And that again is another example of where there was a police investigation. It was an ongoing police investigation. So again, different from this situation where there's been no police investigation as we understand. There's been nothing which has been formally opened by the police. And he was successful in getting an interim injunction which prohibited the BBC from naming him in that programme. They could go ahead with the broadcast, but they just couldn't use him as a case study within it.
Rebecca, thank you for your insight. And if you'd like to contact Rebecca and the Media and Reputation Management team here at JMW Solicitors, you can email insideman@jmw.co.uk or call 0161 82 81 999. Please also subscribe to the JMW Inside Man YouTube channel for the latest legal news, hints and tips. I'm Dominic Walker, JMW's Inside Man.